before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to access to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. So home services is really anything you need done around the house, shoveling snow, changing light bulbs, whatever you need. And you can access all of this by calling one number, and that phone number is 855-464-6872. We also have a referral program. So if you go to the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there's a code. If you give that code to a friend, once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you'll both receive $10 in credit. So just a nice win-win. We have a Facebook group. So if you ever want to continue any of our conversations online or see how other people are using GoGo or just connect with other GoGo members, go ahead and find us on Facebook and we'll share a link in the chat. If we haven't met, I'm Adra. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. Let's see. So today for chair yoga, you don't really need much. You just need your body and a chair. We're seated most of the class. We will stand for a few minutes. That part is optional. Really, anything we do is optional. So grab a chair. A sturdy chair is preferable. Just something that feels like it's not going to fall out from underneath you or roll away. But whatever you have is totally fine. I use one that doesn't have armrest just because it gives me a little more space to move. But again, if all you have is a chair with armrest, that's fine. Use what you have. Um, and with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. It's Friday, so we don't have a move of the week. That only happens on Wednesdays. My video should come out nice and big, but if it doesn't, you can adjust your settings. So sometimes your settings override our settings. And the way you would do that is you would move your cursor towards the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen, and a little box will pop up that says View. If you pick Speaker View, you'll see me nice and big. And if you pick Gallery View, you'll see everyone else. I'm just bending over to move the mic here. All right. Happy Friday. Let's get going. Find your seat. Start to take some circles with the torso. There's really no right or wrong way of doing this. You're just moving and feeling how your body is doing today. Noticing those tight spots. Go ahead and circle the other direction. Jaw is relaxed. I'm feeling really stiff today. So now's a nice time for you to check in with your body and noticing how you are feeling. Come back to center. We'll inhale, pull the chest forward and the arms out to the side, stretching out the front of the body. And then exhale, round your back and give yourself a hug, wrapping your arms around your body. I'll give you a side view as well. So inhale, we open the arms, chest lifts. You can stay facing forward. And exhale, round the back, tuck your chin, curve the spine. We'll keep going here at your own pace. We're just stretching the front of the body and then stretching the back body. And then make your way back to center. Let your arms rest on your lap. And close the eyes or soften your gaze to the ground. We'll just do a brief meditation before we continue to move. So taking a moment first to tune in with your breath. So noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. And then begin to check in mentally, just noticing what kind of thoughts are present right now. There's no need to change them or alter them. You're just noticing there's an awareness. What's going through your mind? And then checking in emotionally, noticing any feelings present, what emotions are with you right now. And again, there's no need to push them out or amplify them. You're just noticing. And then checking in with your physical body. So noticing any aches, any areas that feel really comfortable, areas that are hard to sense. Tuning into that physical body. And allowing whatever's there to be there. Then returning to your breath and finding nice, long, smooth breaths in and out of the nose if that's comfortable. And then feeling free to keep your eyes closed or open them. Begin to rotate your head nose. So you're turning the head right and left. The torso is still. We're trying to find this motion in the neck. And then nod the head yes, looking to the ceiling and down to the ground, moving through whatever range of motion feels good. So it can be big or small. And bringing the head back to center, bring your right ear towards the right shoulder, a little side stretch of the neck. Jaw is relaxed. And other ear to shoulder. One more time each side. Right ear, right shoulder. We're going to adjust the position of the head. So you're going to keep that side stretch, but now you're going to turn your chin towards that right shoulder, or you're going to turn your nose towards that right shoulder. So you're still getting the side bend, but we're adding a little rotation to that side bend of the neck. Then back to center, and we'll do the other side. So first ear to shoulder, so that lateral flexion of the neck. And then we turn the chin and the nose towards that left shoulder. So there's rotation with the side stretch. And bringing the head back to center. Let's do some shoulder rolls forward. Nice big shoulder rolls forward. moving at whatever speed feels good. We're just waking up the body right now. Then take your shoulder rolls back. Again, whatever speed or range works for you. And then we'll move those circles to the wrists, so circling the wrists. Doesn't matter what direction, we'll go both ways. So I'm going outward, but you could go right or inward or left. Switch directions. Really trying to move through the wrists, through the fingers. And then interlace your fingers and push your palms forward, stretching out those forearms. We're going to add some movement here with the arms and the spine. You can always make this smaller or get rid of the arms or get rid of the spine. So inhale, arms reach up, and if it feels okay, your chest is going to lift a little bit too. And then exhale, lower the arms about chest height or belly button height. So you can go lower and then round the back, curve the spine, chin tucks, pelvis tucks under. I'll give you a side view, but you can stay facing forward. So we inhale, reach those arms up, give yourself a little back bend as the arms reach. And then as the arms lower, exhale, curve the spine, drop the chin, tuck the tip. Keep going at your own pace. And make your way back to center, releasing the arms. Let's go ahead and twist our spine. So we'll inhale, twist one direction, so rotating the spine. You can turn your head to follow that back shoulder. And then exhale, twist the other way. We'll just go back and forth several times. So we're twisting one direction and then the other at your own pace. So you can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. We will get a chance to hold the twist in a minute. As you're ready, we'll go ahead and twist and hold that rotation. Couple of breaths. You can hold onto your legs or your chair, whatever you'd like. I like to bring my arm across the body, so going to the opposite leg. The hand goes to the opposite leg. Just helps me twist a little further. And go the other way. Rotate. You might find one side is easier or moves a little more readily. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and come back to these big circles we did at the start of class. Just feel, do they feel a little different than they did at the start? Maybe there are new spots that feel tight. Circle the other way. And bring yourself back to center. We'll move into some side bending. We'll reach one arm down towards the ground, side bending. So watching that you're not twisting or curving the spine. It's a direct side bend. So it's like there's a wall in front of you and behind you, and there's wet paint. You don't want to touch the paint. Come back to center, and then side bend the other way. You can continue with your arms down, or if you'd like, one arm reaches down, other arm reaches up. And you switch. So moving at your own pace, doesn't matter how fast or slow you go. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. If you need to pause and hold for a moment, that's fine, do it. If you want to add your breath, inhale into the side bend as one arm reaches down and the other arm reaches up, And then exhale as you transition through center. Even yourself out. So you've done the same right to left, and then coming back to center. Let's bring our arms forward in front of us, bending at the elbows, like we're holding a platter directly in front of us. So about a 90-degree bend. We're going to keep that 90-degree bend. So maybe you have a platter in each hand or a plate in each hand. So don't drop the plate or don't, drop it on your body or down to the ground. We bring the arms out to the side, external rotation here of the shoulders. So seeing that your arms, your lower half of the arms, wrists, forearms are parallel to the earth. And then exhale, hands come towards each other. So inhale, we rotate, keeping those arms parallel to the ground. Then exhale, hands come forward. Elbows stay close to the side the whole time. Keep going at your own pace. No rush. Next time your arms are out to the side, pause. And then reach your arms out into a T position. So right now, palms are facing up. Now we're going to flip the palms to face forward, down, then back. And then you'll bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your back. So hands are just coming behind the back. It's up to where they go. So they can be low. I'm just standing so you can see. They can be low, or you can move the hands up high. So to whatever amount you want, we're internally rotating now. So the shoulders are internally rotated. It's up to where those arms are. So the backs of the hands are touching your back to begin. And then if it feels okay, you're going to flip your palms to touch your back. So I'll show you. Right now, backs of the hands are touching. Then we flip the palms. So then palms are touching. Feels different. If this is too much, lower the arms down, right? You don't have to have your arms really high. All right, and release. Shake out those arms. And let's heel toe those feet nice and wide. So we're taking a nice straddle stance or a wide stance with the legs. You might need to scooch further forward or further back in your chair. It really depends on your chair and the length of your legs. Please have your feet on the ground. So whatever position you're in, feet are touching the ground. So adjust as needed so your feet can find the ground with this wide stance. Then leaning forward and let your shoulders creep up towards the ears. Here, I'll take off my jacket so you can see, or my sweater so you can see a little better. So hands are on the legs and you're leaning forward, letting those shoulders come up towards the ears. And then we'll drop one shoulder forward. So I'll mirror you. Left shoulder drops forward. Rotate the spine. And then come to center and switch sides. Other shoulder drops forward. Rotate the spine. We're getting a little shoulder stretch and a little twist. Back to the first side, shoulder drops forward, rotate. And second side. And back to center. Lift your torso up, keep your legs. Let's go into some heel raises with this nice wide straddle stance. So we'll alternate heel raises. So lifting one heel off the ground, so the ball of the foot and the toes stay down. Then heel comes down and we switch. Other heel lifts and down. So just alternating here. You might need to adjust where your legs are to make this happen. Just a couple more, just finding some motion in those ankles. All right, and then we'll move into a side stretch. So keeping that wide stance if you can. You're gonna lean to the right, I'll mirror you. Right hand is on your right leg. So this is option one, hand on the leg. The arm can be straight, or you can start to bend the elbows so that you get more of a side stretch. You could also then bring that right forearm to an armrest or to your thigh. So you can be on your hand or on your forearm, doesn't matter. Both hips are still on the ground or on the chair. The sits bones are pressing into the chair. That free arm can stay down, could reach out to the side, up towards the ceiling, or all the way over towards that right wall, or sort of where the wall meets the ceiling. So any of those spots, or if you want to move, that's totally fine. Couple of breaths here. And then we'll look down towards that right leg, and we'll lower that left hand down to the right thigh. So you could be on two hands here. You could be on bent elbows or straight elbows. You could also be on two forearms, whatever feels better. For me, hands feel better. Forearms feels too hard. But whatever works for you, we're getting a little stretch here into the back. Trying to keep your sits bones grounded. So keep those hips on the chair. Don't let that left hip come up. Go ahead and lift your torso. Find center. Let your knees knock in for a moment. So a little internal rotation here of the thighs. And then knees go wide again. And we'll go to the other side. So leaning to your left, hand on the knee or thigh. Arm can be straight or bent. You could stay on that hand, or you could bring your forearm to your armrest if you have one, or to your leg. Sits bones stay grounded, whatever position you're in. Your free arm can stay down, go out to the side, up towards the ceiling, or all the way overhead, whatever works for you. And you can always move it around. So this side might feel different from the other side. You might need something else. So feel free to adjust. We're not perfectly symmetrical. And then we're going to turn towards this left leg. So right hand's going to come down, hand's going to find your thigh. You can either be two forearms on the leg, one forearm in one hand, or two hands, whatever works for stretching out that back. Smooth breath. All right, and lift your torso up, come back to center. Let's let those knees knock in again. So feet go wide. We're getting some internal rotation in those legs. Sometimes this is really hard, sometimes this is really easy. So it just depends on your body. Be gentle, whatever you choose to do. And then let's bring those knees back out and walk those feet back towards each other. We're gonna go into some stretches into the legs. I'm sitting sideways so you can see. You stay facing forward so that you're still facing your screen. Let's straighten out the right leg in front of us. So we have a bent left knee and a straight right leg. Sitting tall to begin, we're moving through the ankle. We'll point and flex the foot. So toes come down towards the ground and then toes reach up towards the ceiling. Just finding a little movement there. Next time your toes are facing up towards the ceiling, we'll pause and lean a little forward. So try to lean forward without changing the shape of the spine. So really what's moving is our pelvis. So the bone here, these hard bones that attach our low back or our spine to our legs, there's this pelvis, and we're going to try and roll that pelvis forward. So the spine doesn't actually need to change shape to do this. You might feel the musculature working, but we're leaning forward, keeping that spine nice and long, looking for a stretch somewhere along the back of the leg. You can brace yourself on your hands. And so we're not trying to round the back yet, right? So that's curving the spine. Yes, of course, it brings me closer to my leg, but it doesn't necessarily stretch the leg more. It's different. It's getting into the back. Whereas here, we're starting with just getting into the leg or the back of the leg. Then from this position with this long spine, we're going to rotate the right leg out. So what does that mean? That means your thigh bone is going to try and turn outward. That means the knee and the toes will follow. So your entire leg, the pelvis stays fixed. The entire leg is going to turn out or turn to the right. I'll give you a front view of that as well. So toes are facing up towards the ceiling here, and then we're rotating the leg. Not just the toes that are moving, but that knee also moves out to this side. So the leg rotates out. And this should give you a different stretch, a slightly different stretch. And it might mean you need to back off the stretch, or it might mean that you can come a little further forward. Nice smooth breath. We're holding. Hands can be on the leg. You can have your elbows straight or bent, but we're trying to keep that spine long. So we're trying to keep it out of the back for now. Then bring your leg back to center, and then turn your toes in. The toes turn in, rotating that thigh in. So it's that same idea. We're going from out to center to in. It's usually going to be a much smaller motion in. And again, it's that whole leg. So thigh, shin, knee, foot, everything's turning in. And torso does the same. You could be upright if that's enough stretch. You can lean forward. We're trying to keep the back out of it. You might feel more on the lower leg. You might feel more on the upper leg. It just depends on where your tension is. Bring your foot back to center. Lift your torso, rebend the knee. Windshield wiper those knees side to side, or just let them sway to reset. And we'll find the second side. So left leg straightens out in front of us, right knee stays bent. First, we point and flex the foot. So we're moving through the ankle. So toes reach to the ceiling, toes reach to the ground. Next time your toes are facing up towards the ceiling, we'll pause and lean forward a little bit, feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, trying to keep that spine long. You might even think about reaching your tail towards the wall behind you, or even towards the ceiling. So that thought of bringing your tail back instead of letting it tuck under should give you more stretch. This side might feel completely different from the first side. Few breaths here in the center. And then we'll externally rotate the leg. So that straight leg, that left leg is going to turn out. So that means that thigh bone is rotating in the hip socket. So it's going to turn to the left, the knee's going to follow, and the foot's going to follow. So we'll have that rotation out to the left or away from the center of the body. Noticing where that moves the stretch. Maybe it makes it easier, maybe it makes it harder. So that might mean you need to change where your torso is. Smooth, steady breath. Bring the toes back to center. You can lift your torso up a little bit if you'd like, and then turn the leg in. So toes point to the right. Knee points to the right, or the leg is pointing towards the center of the body. And same thing with the torso. It can be up or down, whatever position feels good. Notice where you feel the stretch and try and keep it out of the back for now. Jaw is relaxed, breath is smooth, shoulders are soft. Lift your torso up, bring the leg back in, and windshield wiper those knees side to side. We're going to move to the standing part of class. We'll only be standing for a couple of minutes. If you don't want to stand, stay seated, do a few stretches. We'll be back to seated in a few minutes. If you are standing, it's helpful to get behind your chair, or if you can't get behind your chair, find a wall, find a table, something to hold on to so that your balance is supported. All right, so hands on the chair. Let's step the right leg back behind us, anywhere from 1 to 3 feet back, and then bend into the front knee. So the front knee is bent, the back leg is straight. Our feet are anywhere from 1 to 3 feet apart. Both feet are flat on the ground, so get that back heel to touch the ground. You can keep holding on to your chair, or if you want to work your balance as well, you could reach those arms above the chair, arms parallel to the earth. Either option is fine. 2 more breaths. Let's step forward and switch sides. Other leg steps back, 1 to 3 feet back, all 10 toes face forward, bend your front knee. Both feet are flat on the ground. Hands can stay on your chair, or you can hover the hands above the chair. About pushing that back heel down into the ground. And then stepping forward. Both hands on the chair, table, or wall. We'll walk back into that upside down L position or chair dog. The torso is somewhere close to parallel to the earth, but you might be up higher. That's totally fine. So I'm showing a variation where you're up higher. You could also be closer to the chair with the elbows slightly bent. If you can, the arms are straight. Your hips are over your heels, but your legs could be straight. They can also be bent. So find what works for you. And you could be still here, or if it feels good, you can kind of wag your tail right and left, and that can feel really nice, giving you a little more stretch to one side and then a little more stretch to the other. But also think about trying to reach your tailbone towards the ceiling. 2 or 3 more breaths. And then bring yourself back up. We'll do a few chair poses here. So standing in front of our supports or chair or table, hands can be on, but go ahead and stretch out your arms so you're not very close. That way you have a little bit of space to move. We'll inhale, bend the knees, hips go back. Hands can stay supporting you, going into our yoga chair pose, straightening the legs. So inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. We'll just do a few of these. This is the last bit of standing. Inhale down, exhale up. All 10 toes are trying to face forward. The knees are tracking straight forward. 2 more. Great, and then next time you're standing, let's go ahead and make our way back into our chair. So back to our seated position. And we're going to curve the spine and round the back. So we spent so much time stretching those hamstrings trying to keep the spine long. Now we're going to let that back round. So hands come to the thighs. Go ahead and bend those elbows and lean yourself forward. You can stay on your hands going as deep as is comfortable. You could also bring your forearms down to the ground, or down to, not down to the ground. If you can bring your forearms to the ground, that'll be impressive. Forearms down to your legs or hands to the ground. Head and neck can relax. I'll just show you a side view of all of those. So hands on the legs, elbows bent. Maybe they're really bent. Maybe the forearms are supporting you. Maybe the hands are coming down. And then let your head go. Couple of breaths. Go ahead and start to lift your torso back up. Use those arms to help you. Take a nice breath, and we'll go into my favorite stretch to end with. We'll go into a figure 4. Lots of options here. So let's start with the right leg. You can cross your right ankle over your left ankle and allow that right knee to open out to the side. If you have a stool, the next step up would be to put your foot up on a stool. So that's an option. It'll give you a little more stretch than the low one, but doesn't require bringing your leg all the way up. Option 3 would be to cross your legs. That's a slightly different stretch, but totally reasonable if that feels good. And option 4 is to go into the traditional figure 4, crossing your ankle over your thigh. And the reason is if you look down, your legs sort of look like a 4 or an upside down 4. You can also sit up onto some blocks or pillows. If you sit up higher, the stretch will be less intense, or the further away your leg is from your torso, it will feel less intense. So you could do a stool or chair of the armrest of a couch sometimes is a better height. So whatever works for you. If this is feeling easy, you might think about where your bottom leg is and watch that your bottom leg is vertical. So straight up and down. If we take it at an angle, it will be less intense. You can be still, or if it feels okay, go ahead and find some circles with the torso, finding some interesting spots, going as slow as you want or as fast as you want. Be sure to circle both directions, letting that breath be nice and smooth. And then go ahead and find a spot where you'd like to hold the stretch. And hold there for a few breaths. And there's no right or wrong. So I'm kind of leaning at a diagonal because that's what feels good right now. Maybe for you, it's being straight up. Maybe for you, it's leaning to one side. And then maybe find a second spot that feels interesting to your body. Sometimes leaning back feels good. And let's find a third spot. Bring yourself to center, undo your legs, shake it off, and we'll find our second side. So left ankle crosses over the other ankle, that's option one, but make sure that knee opens out to the side so you get that rotation in the thigh. You could also put your foot up on a stool. You could cross your legs, so traditional cross, again, that moves the stretch somewhere else, but that's fine. Or you cross your ankle over your thigh, feeling free to be on something higher, right? So either sitting on something higher or adding some cushion to your seat and playing with the angle of that lower leg. So at an angle, if it's more at a diagonal, you'll get more stretch, less stretch, sorry. And if it's more straight up and down, you'll get more stretch. Once you found your position, start to take some circles with the torso, explore your space. Nice smooth breath, circle the other way. And then find a first spot to hold for several breaths. Then search for a second spot to hold for a few breaths. And then find one more spot that feels good. Come back to center, undo your legs, shake them off. And sitting nice and tall, planting those feet to the ground. Inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms touch, hands lower to the heart. 2 more times together. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, hands come down. One more. Inhale, circle out and up. And exhale, hands come down to the heart, pausing there. Thumbs rest on your sternum. Close the eyes for a moment. Check in with how you're doing physically, emotionally, and mentally. And then thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you everyone so much for joining today. Great to have you as always. If you're new, just know that we do something different every time. So there's always, similar threads, but the class isn't exactly the same, so it changes. And then we alternate with functional fitness, which is a more active class. If you're looking for something that's standing and more challenging physically, this class is more relaxing and stretchy. We have a couple of minutes if anybody has questions or thoughts. Oh, and I'm seeing here in the chat, we've got John here from Colorado. It's cold. Okay, wait, let me see. Let me see if I can see John. Is your video's up? We can see your chair. I have to weed through lots of videos, and for some reason, Zoom always changes. Oh, John. Oh, okay, I see you. I see you, John. I can't really see your chair, but you have a judge's chair. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got a nice big chair. So if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to ask now. Questions about class, so yoga or functional fitness. If you have go-go questions, best thing to do is reach out to GoGo directly.
Okay, I tried to unmute. Did it work?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, so I've had the chair, the gunlock chair. It came from a courtroom, and I've had it for 50 years. And you know, I'm not a judge, but I was once a councilman, and I'm really into high back chairs. And so it's really good for yogaing, crawling around this thing. The chair weighs a couple 100 pounds anyway, maybe more, and it's made of oak and leather, and it's kind of fun to just kind of crawl around it. I've often wondered if the judges ever did that in a courtroom when called their cases, and so it's kind of fun. It's a nice chair, and it's very good.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. That's fun. It's a beautiful looking chair. Oh, Jimmy, I'm seeing that your Jim and Mary are in Berkeley. That's awesome. I'm in San Francisco, so we're close by. It would be cool if judges were doing some yoga before they went into to work. The sort of a centering practice.
Maybe they'd be a little more relaxed before they do sentencing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know that. I've never been in front of a judge for sentencing or anything. Except I got all right. Yeah, I did once. I got a dog ticket. Okay, I got a dog ticket, and so apparently somebody didn't like my dog. Uh, and But if I remember right, the judge that I appeared before had a really small chair, and I never understood that. I wrote him a letter about that. I said, "You need a larger chair. I can get you one. I know where to get gun locks." And he never wrote back. I don't think he wanted it. But it's good for yogaing around. I can twist around it, crawl around. I don't know if you can imagine that, an old man crawling around the judge's chair to do yoga, but it's probably kind of funny, but it works.
That's great. I'm glad it works. And I'm glad it's sturdy and steady.
You know why it's quiet? It's because everybody's freezing. It's cold. What is, what is it with this weather? Come on. I thought we had an ordinance in this town. I thought I voted on an ordinance that makes polar vortexes illegal in Deer Trail, Colorado. And apparently somebody's not listening because we got hit with the front end of a polar vortex. And now I crawl around my chair and do yoga to keep warm because it's the only way I can think of.
Yeah. Just moving the body is great to keep warm if it gets really cold, not that it really happens in California, but if it does feel really cold, I'll do some yoga or I'll do some planks to try and get warm again, just moving the body to get that heat. That and hot showers.
I want to see somebody do yoga in a rocking chair. Now, that would be a trip.
Woo, hard. Alrighty, everybody. I think if no one has questions, I will let you go. Have a wonderful weekend. Wednesday is yoga, so and then next Friday will be functional fitness. Hopefully we see you again soon. Thanks so much for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you next time.